Okay guys, welcome back to another Scrappin' Irish video, and for this one I'm on to another stuff that I picked up in that big e-waste pickup that I done. So again, if you haven't seen the biggest e-waste pickup I have ever done, check out the link coming up here somewhere. So if you want to check that out first and come back to this video then and see what we're working on, feel free, because you might want to see what I picked up to give you an idea of what sort of stuff I'm working through and what else needs to be done and all that. So on this one, what I'm working on is inside of this box, and it's not just this box, there's a lot of these boxes. So I'll just give you a quick look. Don't forget guys to hit the thumbs up or hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber, so you can see what else I get in my pickups and stuff like that from the e-waste, and how I recover the gold hopefully from it, and maybe silver and platinum and palladium and any of the other precious metals as we go along. But the main thing I look for here is going to be the gold, is what I'm looking for. So as you can see guys, in this one it's in modems that I'm working on. So all I'm going to be doing for this part of the video, and I'll carry on then and we'll move on to another feature, is all I'm going to be doing on this part is opening these modems, taking the discs out, taking out the modem itself, taking out the cable, and putting the box into the recycling. So that's all I'm going to be doing. It's straightforward. It's just remove all these, separate the discs, and move on to the next box and the next box and the next box and the next box, and then we'll move on to the next stage of the video. Now I could remove all these off screen. I haven't decided what way I'm going to edit this video yet. And oh yeah, sorry, one more thing, I'm going to remove the plastic while I'm at it at this stage, so that we have the plastic, and that'll go into the recycling bin. So all I'll have left is hopefully a load of these, and these are the two items that I'll be working on in the next stage of the video. So if I decide just to play some music over this, that's what you're going to get. You'll see me just removing the boxes. You probably won't see me splitting these out. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. I don't know. I haven't decided. But either way, we're going to work on these, and we'll be doing one box after another box after another box, and then we'll move on to the next stage. So what I'll be looking for on these is, later on in the video, I'll be removing these. I'll be taking everything off the board here, even removing this metal. I'll be holding on to this metal because I'll be giving it probably to Pop Scrap, and we'll be doing a bit of a deal myself and Pop Scrap hopefully on some of this stuff, that we can do a bit of maybe swap, or maybe he brings it down and gives me a split of the money or something. I don't know, we'll see what happens. So that'll be later on in the video anyhow. But for this part, all I'm going to be doing is just taking these out and collecting them up and going on to the next stage then. So let's see which way I done it. Did I just go straight on to what I finished, or did you get to see me strip every one of them out? But I'm sure I would have speeded it up if I did. So let's see what we done. Okay guys, now that I have taken all these out of the boxes, as you can see, I have a pile of them. So what's the next stage? And of course, any that will be familiar with this, next stage is just trimming off the fingers. So again, just try and get it as close as you can to where the gold actually meets the board. So if I zoom in, maybe we might get a better, there we go, so you can actually see. So what I'm doing is I am just making this cut as tight as I can to the actual gold, where the gold meets the board. So I don't want to go up here, I want to go right down there as tight as I can, and I snip it off. So that, as you can see, that is cut directly there. There's no gold left on the green and very little green there. So we're right down to the fingers, we're right down to where we want to be. If there's a little bit of green, it doesn't matter. Like, so if I come a bit deeper, so I would say, let me just come a bit deeper, I'll just take that a little bit there so I can get a little bit deeper into it. So if I went down here and I trim along there, it isn't going to really make an awful amount of difference. Sorry, I was just out of focus there because I didn't know what I was doing. So as you can see there, I have a bit more green this time along here. So if you're not used to it and you don't want to, make sure you don't lose any gold, that's the way I do it. So it's just a matter of getting it there, again, snap, and that's it done. So that'll be the first one done, and then we'll do a few more. So again, after a while you get fairly used to it, and it's just a matter of snapping it off and putting it into the little tub down here. Let me bring it down, change the direction, there we go. So all I'm doing is taking these and again just snipping them off. After a while you get fairly used to it. You can do this sitting in front of your TV, watching a bit of TV, watching some YouTube, whatever. If you have a lot of these fingers to get through, just do it like this. Now sometimes, as you'll see here, I went a bit too close to the green, and you might see a little bit of gold left. Is there? No, I didn't actually. I thought I had, but I hadn't. So I have about 600 of these to do. So this will take a while. So we have 600 or so. So sit back and we might as well speed it up a bit. I won't let you go through all this torture of watching me count 600. We'll speed it up for you. Okay guys, so we're almost done. Well, almost done cutting them. Let me zoom back out. So we have done every one bar the last one of them. So this is the last one, I think now. No, I could find more later another day, and I'm moving some more boxes and whatever. But it's the last one for this video anyhow that I'll be cutting. So we have a nice tub of gold fingers trimmed, and I don't know whether you hear it or not hear it. If I zoom in, you might hear it better, because usually when you zoom in, the sound will zoom in with it, what we're doing, zooming in with. So I don't know, can you hear that? But if you can, them are fairly okay fingers, because even when I rub my finger on them, I can feel them lift off. So they're a bit thicker than the normal ram fingers, which is good. But we won't know until we get them in the acid and get them off there what sort of weight we really have of them. But what I'll do is I'll give us a little weigh, and we'll do zero that again. Well, we'll zeroed. Yeah, zeroed. So we'll try and tilt you down a bit more and get that into focus, and we'll see what we had weight wise. So we've 964 grams, so that's over 2 pounds in weight. And what I'd expect usually if there were trimmed fingers from ram sticks, I'd be expecting to get maybe 2 grams per pound, maybe a bit more, depends on, maybe a bit less as well, depends on, but on average we'd say 2 things. So there's over 4 grams of gold there, hopefully, maybe a bit more. We won't know until we get them into the acid and get them out and eventually drop them. So now that we've trimmed them, my next problem is, let me get back out of it. My next issue is there's still gold on these boards to be retrieved. So we have all the chips will have gold. There's still some gold flashing along here. As you can see, there's some gold flashing down here, more gold flashing along there. So my next job will be to remove all the little parts off the board. So all these chips I'm going to take off. I'll take off even this copper. I'll hold on to these. They'll have copper in it. I'll have to check and see what's inside of these. We'll get one of them off, we'll smash it open and see what's inside. We also have some gold pins in there that I need to get out. So I suppose next job I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all these plates off it. So I'm not going to show you through that. All I'm going to be doing is taking off the screw here, and taking off the plate. And then my favorite part, what I love using the most, I know Raphael Scrapper will love me using it, I'm going to be getting the heat gun and clearing this board using the heat gun. So let's go and get the heat gun into operation and start clearing some boards, and we'll see how much weight of chips we have, because again, usually, not always, per pound of chips you should be getting another gram, maybe 2 grams of gold from the chips as well. So we'll see how much chips we end up with. Again, there's only 2 chips on each board that I'll be taking off, and I'll be taking off them, even though I haven't started refining yet, but there'll be some silver in there, not really gold. And once I have this cleaned off, I'd like to see if any of that gold flashing is underneath any of this green anywhere else. So again, we'll maybe remove that green solder just to see what's in it on one of the boards. to see if there's any more gold, because you can see there's gold flashing coming through there, there's gold flashing coming through in other spots, so may possibly be some gold flashing underneath the green solder. I may not be. So let's go and get the heat gun into operation and start taking off these components. Okay guys, so I decided to not use the heat gun and instead go with the multi-tool. Now, I've already been doing a few of them with the multi-tool and I thought I was recording, but I wasn't actually recording. So here we go for take 2. But anyhow, the multi-tool is what I've decided to use because of the amount of bits on it. The solder is a little bit thicker, so the heat gun takes a bit longer to work on it, and it's probably going to be more cost effective to use the multi-tool. So I've shown a video before where I used the multi-tool or how I got on with the multi-tool, so we might upload it in there. Plus Raphael's scrapper. If you've watched this far, Raphael, well done for a start. But anyhow, he done a comparison between the multi-tool, the heat gun for different types of stuff and which he prefers. So Raphael, feel free to put your link for that video in the comments, and then people can have a look at how you got on with the multi-tool. So all I'm doing here is, this is this box that I built, that I have this on now. You would have seen that box in a previous video, I think. It's just got little sides on it. If I turn over here, you can see the sides here. So it's got the sides, it's also got a back on it, but I've put some cardboard up against the back there to stop stuff from flying all over the place. So anything that falls off will hit the back and fall down, hopefully. So that's the plan. So you can see like all these little bits are here, the chips. Some of the chips get shattered into smaller bits and stuff like that, but that doesn't really matter because it's all going to be incinerated at some stage. So it doesn't matter if the chips crack or if they fall apart or if they don't, whatever, it doesn't really matter, because get the chip out from under here if I can. There we go. So again, you can see it takes off the chips and stuff like that. Again, I probably could have put on a fresher blade and it probably would work a bit better, but I try to get as much value out of the blades. Ooh, camera too far one side there, hit it with my hand. All these little copper bits come off. All these will come off. So it makes an awful lot of noise. So for that reason, we're going to put a little bit of music over this for you, and you're going to see me do this quickly. Speed it up, bit of music. I'm so nice that I won't break anyone's ears with their headphones on. So I'll put some nice little music over it and we'll get through as many of these as we can. Probably won't show you me doing every one of them, but I'll just do a certain amount so that you can see the principle of how it works. Okay guys, so I think you get the idea there. I've a lot to do. I'm not going to do every one of them on camera. I was just giving you a demonstration of quickly how I do it. As you can see on the boards afterwards, they're fairly well cleaned. A few little bits here and there that I can just do again quickly or whatever, but mostly the main stuff I'm looking for, because again, these I won't be processing. There's nothing in them that I know of, but I won't be processing them, so I'm not too bothered if they're left on the board. The other thing I want to know is there any gold flashing on the rest of the board? So again, off screen, I'll check that out. I'll put a video there, link on how you remove that green stuff to see if there's anything of value underneath it. If there's not enough value, then you won't be seeing anything else about it in this video. But if there is anything valuable underneath, if there was any gold plating or anything, which I doubt there is, but if there was, we'll come back and I'll at the end and we'll let you look at that. The blade needs changing on this. She's fairly well wore down, so I'll probably change the blade, and again I'll carry on and do the rest of these off screen, because it's going to be a lot easier, because at the moment I'm trying to reach over the camera and I'm trying to get the lighting and blah blah blah. Makes it a bit more difficult, takes things a lot longer, so where if I don't have the camera in my way, I can just get these done a lot quicker. But you can see here, when I push all this stuff out, it does a good job of removing everything that you want off it. So you have all the little bits, you have your chips, so you have your little chips come off, you have the plugs, the internet plugs, you have all them come off, you even have all these little things come off, capacitors and stuff like that, and resistors. Again, I don't know if there's anything any good in them. Let me know in the comments if you think there is. We have all the little crystal oscillators coming off. So essentially it's taking everything off that board, and it does it a lot quicker for me than the heat gun would. But I like using the heat gun for certain jobs. So as much as people think I use the heat gun all the time, I don't. I use it in certain jobs. I like it for removing the gold corner BGAs. I find it's good. It doesn't shatter them or whatever. It keeps them in one lump for me. Stuff like that. But I like these, not too bothered what way they come off, these plastic bits and stuff like that, because they're going to be smashed up further later. So, right, let's see what we ended up with at the end. So again, what you'll see is instant, but for me it's going to be a couple of hours work. So that's what you have to remember about this e-waste recovery. It's not straight that quick. There's a lot of work. So I have about 600 of these boards to remove or to clean up. So let's see what we ended up from them. Now guys, that I've fully finished cleaning off these boards, and I'm just going to show you what I've got. So you've already seen the fingers that I've taken from the boards. I've also now got all these chips. These are the main for the gold recovery. There is bits for pieces for copper and stuff like that, but I'm not going to bother sorting through all them yet. This is mainly just for the gold recovery stuff, the materials I'm doing. So with all these chips in here as well, they came off the boards. And I also have a tub of crystal oscillators. So that's what I've got from the boards. I also said that I was going to check and see, put that in the right thread. I also said I was going to check and see what was under these boards. So you can see there the board is completely cleaned off. So it's just we're left with that, and then you can see the gold flashing around the board. So I went ahead and I put that through them boards, run them through the actual process of removing the green solder from the outside of it. So all that green solder has been removed from it. I went through the process of doing that, and this is what we end up with. So as you can see, we end up with a copper underneath it. So what was underneath there is copper. So you can see, because of where the sticker was, these match up. That's where the sticker is, that's where the sticker is. And you can see what we're left with underneath is all just copper. You can still see the little gold ring in around there. So all I'm going to really do with these is, rather than go through them all, they're all going to be the same. I'm just going to be cutting off where I see the gold flashing there. Again, cut out that bit of gold flashing there. And I might try and see what I'll do with these small bits. But as you can see, when you look the other side, they match up. You can barely see where them other little bits of gold are there. Well, you can see the shine over there now, but it's all just copper. So it looks nice, the copper does, but it would look nicer if it was actually gold flashing that was there. So that's all is underneath them boards, so at least I know now what's under it. Thrown it away. So a lot of copper underneath them, that if you wanted to go to the trouble, you could remove all the green off all them type of boards and try and recover the copper. If you wanted to, you could do that. If you want, it's just another thing. But again, the amount of acid it might use or whatever, because again, you could use that. I could drop them boards in. If it removed all the solder off, I could probably drop them into my stock pot and get the copper to come off and drop out any precious metals using the copper from there, and then recover the copper at a later date. But that's it, guys. That is what that video, or that all them little cards has given me. Now there is other bits and pieces with copper and stuff like that I can get recovered as well, and there's also the phone connectors or the internet connectors that are on them, which will have the little bit of gold plated wire in it, which I will do on a separate video, deal with on a separate video, which are these type of things, guys. So you can see here where I've removed these from the board, or from the boards as well. So inside of there will be your gold plated wires, so you can see there's 2 in each one of them. So again, I'll deal with that in a different video. So that's it, guys, for the video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.